basically now have a press release that's been put out, that's been twisted and mangled, that now will give this president permission to fire Rosenstein, who will now take over this investigation. Our democracy is under siege. People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator. This is not something to analyze anymore. Yeah. This is not so, oh, a good day for Trump. Yeah. This is frightening stuff if you are an American. This is not time to analyze and pundit. People, we need a revolution at this point. And I'm not doing TV here, and I'm not going, ooh, crazy Donnie.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
I remember on the night of November 8, 2016, sitting right here with Roger Stone in this studio we're broadcasting from and saying, our battle is just beginning. We have won a major fight, but there are many, many other major battles that take place before we win this war. And I could feel the energetic, psychic hatred and energy of the slaves of globalism and the masters of it. And you can see it today. I mean, this was about planetary control of technology, dominating populations, dumbing people down, making people poor. And they've been caught staging riots at Trump events and blaming him, and they've been caught rigging the polls, and they've been caught engaging in all the race baiting. They've been caught with the secret servers in Benghazi and all the corruption and the fact that they wanted to make America poor to control us. And what's the common sense analysis? They're not going to capitulate. They're not going to roll over and let America be great again. They're not going to do that because they are financed by ruthless big banks and the communist Chinese and America haters in Hollywood who admittedly are in a combine against America and against any sovereign, wealthy nation, whether it be Australia, whether it be Japan, whether it be Russia, whether it be Germany. You can look at all these countries, some captured, some not, by the globalists and realize they're not bad people. They're just hijacked by these controllers. And along comes Trump right on the crest of the Brexit wave, the first move. And then he's the big tsunami coming in, and now it's happening everywhere in a chain reaction. And so the globalists are trying to put on a confidence act. And here's my real message to the president. Your enemies are putting on a confidence act when they go on TV and Phil Mudd says he's going to kill you. And when Brennan goes on back in July of last year and says you'll be out of office by December. And when they go out and all these other spokespersons get up there and say, that don't do what Trump says, resist him, mutiny. That is their weakness. That is their desperation. So now that they would hoax everybody that you're doing bad things to people's kids when you're following a decades-old policy and trying to even make it better, and even when you then give in to what they want, they even get more shrill because they have nothing, and they're not going to stop. And they're going to try to create a civil war. And that's why Maxine Waters is calling for attacks on Trump supporters. That's why they're pushing. That's why USA Today says America is already in a civil war. That's USA Today today. Newswars.com. Historian links current political environment to pre-Civil War. James Woods comes out and says we're in a civil war. Conservatives, get armed and vote. Your life depends on it. Don't be offensive, be defensive, but be ready. That's on Infowars.com. Pelosi and all these people like Waters say that rioting is a defining moment. Remember Newsweek a few years ago had the headline, "The Case for Rioting"? So that's where we are now. And yes, it sounds radical to say that's happening. And even some people in the White House criticize the president when he calls it what it is and says CNN's the enemy. The Democrats hate America. The NFL hates America. They do at the top. That's their globalist cult. That's how you get admittance to the club. So my advice to the president is keep being Donald John Trump and come out and address the nation straight on about how you want unity and prosperity for everybody and how the deep state is openly trying to foment this because we got Hayden and everybody launching it 2 weeks ago that you're a Nazi and we're all Nazis and we all deserve to be targeted. That's a criminal civil rights violation. It's racketeering. It's classically illegal. It's organized crime. And we should all have a debate about what we're going to do to counter this. But they've already taken the gloves off. They've drawn first blood. I want to counter them legally and lawfully. But to do that, we've got to realize we're up against such extreme enemies. Now, here's a compilation in the last year and a half of these globalists trying to look cocky and powerful in public and trying to push your overthrow and the voters' election overthrow.
It's obvious that he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's obvious he can't control his mind or his tongue. And what I've suggested, if now, because he's the nominee for the party, and he's entitled to briefings from the CIA, for example, I said publicly, give him fake briefings. Pretend you're briefing him. Don't tell him anything that you don't want to get out.
He's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
If he's fired, and he's the president of the United States, he could tell Rosenstein to fire him if he wants. But if he's fired, what would you want Congress to do?
First of all, I think it's the obligation of some executive branch officials to refuse to carry out some of these orders that, again, are inconsistent with what this country is all about. I would just hope that this is not going to be a partisan issue, that Republicans and Democrats are going to see that the future of this country is at stake, and there needs to be some things done for the good of the future.
One bottom line, as a former government official, government's going to kill this guy.
I don't know when people, those in the Republican Party who continue to apologize and make excuses for Mr. Trump, when they're going to come to their senses. This is a dangerous, dangerous act. It's not just his statements or his tweets. This is an action that puts at risk our national security as well as the stability and security of the Middle East as best it can happen.
I think that's actually a very disturbing assault on the independence of the Department of Justice. And I think when the president, this president or any president, tries to use the Department of Justice as kind of a private investigatory body, that's not good for the country. First of all, I think this is a regrettable characteristic of President Trump, where he will attack people who whom he considers a threat.
The president's talking about basically corruption at the FBI today, but we oppose the leadership. The workforce is going to look at this and say, this is an attack on our ability to conduct an investigation with integrity. There's hundreds of agents and analysts working on this investigation. It's not just Christopher Wray, the FBI director. So the FBI people, I'm going to tell you, are ticked. And they're going to be saying, I guarantee it, you think you can push us off this because you can try to intimidate the director? You better think again, Mr. President. You've been around for 13 months. We've been around since 1908. I know how this game is going to be played. We're going to win.
Disturbing, at least to me, when the institutions of ours that have served us long and well are under attack. And I thought the characterizing the 37,000 men and women of the FBI, that they are in tatters, even worse, presumably, than the heyday of J. Edgar Hoover, was absolutely egregious.
Basically now a press release that's been put out, that's been twisted and mangled, that now will give this president permission to fire Rosenstein, who will now take over this investigation. Our democracy is under siege. People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator. This is not something to analyze anymore.
Yeah.
This is not so, oh, a good day for Trump.
Yeah.
This is frightening stuff if you are an American. This is not time to analyze and pundit. People, we need a revolution at this point. And I'm not doing TV here, and I'm not going, ooh, crazy Donnie.
As the most powerful position in the world, the President of the United States, and his continual lying, as well as lack of ethics, as well as lack of rigor in terms of the policies that he pursues. But these are abnormal times, and he is an abnormal president, and not in, he's aberration, and not in a good way. That's what gives us the motivation to speak out.
If you vote for Trump, then you, the voter, you, not Donald Trump, are standing at the border like Nazis going, you here, you here. And I think we now have to flip it, and it's a given the evilness of Donald Trump.
We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. They're losing, and they know it, but they're more dangerous than ever.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Support good oral health with our one-of-a-kind Super Blue fluoride-free products. InfoWars Life brings you a revolutionary toothpaste blend with iodine and nano silver designed to deliver a powerful clean. Enjoy a minty fresh flavor made with peppermint oil or try our bubblegum flavor. Pair this groundbreaking toothpaste with the Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and supercharge your oral health. Our amazing mouthwash features natural oils and ancient ingredients used since Aboriginal and biblical times. Instead of containing fluoride, our Super Blue line is loaded with the good halogen iodine and an array of other beneficial compounds that have been hand-selected for their oral health benefits. Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and toothpaste are the first and only to contain all of these natural ingredients: xylitol, nano silver, and iodine. Notice the difference with our Super Blue fluoride-free products. Refresh your breath and invigorate your oral health routine at InfoWarsStore.com. That's InfoWarsStore.com.